Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 80s Parenting Podcast. I am Malinda, and I'm here with my BFF of 42 years, Heather. Hello, Heather.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello. What's that?
How are you?
Good. This is starting out great this time. Oh, okay. Anyway, so we originally started this podcast to talk about our 80s parenting or lack thereof, and all the things that we got away with in the 80s, and also our adventures and tales that we had meeting, and the adventures that we went on throughout our childhood. And it's 42 years worth of situations.
Mm-hmm. It's a
hmm
long time.
It's been a long time, Heather. It's been a minute. So now we decided to kind of take a step back, if you will, and talk about 80s nostalgia, aka the pop culture, Heather.
Yep.
Yeah, so we
Love
have
me some
been
pop culture moments.
pop culture moments. So if you got to this point, we have done 4 of them that will be released before you'll hear this one. So here we go. So Heather and I both pick 2 topics and we research them. And they're things that interested us when we were younger.
hmm
And so we have experience with these things, or we were around when they first became available, that kind of situation. So we're not researching stuff that we know nothing about at all.
Right.
So we're taking those deep dives because when you're young, you don't realize that you should never get dogs. Percy, sorry, the dog is growling at a bike rider riding his bike by. So, anyway, why don't you explain the process that we go through and I'll get the dog.
Okay. So each week, and you'll actually get to see it today if you're watching on YouTube, and you'll get to hear it if you're listening to the podcast. But we randomly went through and picked topics for things that either originated in the 80s or that were a big part of our lives or things that we had when we were growing up. And, when you're a kid, you don't really care about the origin story of things. You just care whether you have it or not, or if it's cool or not, or if your friend has it and you feel like you really need to have it because they have it or not. So now we're going back and taking a look at the origin stories for some things that were either born in the 80s or that were a big part of our childhood.
Yeah, they were.
So today
Oh, let's hear it. What do you got, Heather?
I'm going to talk about VH1. Love me a cable channel
A
because
cable
I didn't
channel.
have
Yeah.
cable.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry about that. You know what's funny is that we were around when all that started, and that's crazy now, seeing the progression of
hmm
TV and movies. And if you want to listen to one of our episodes, one of our other 27 episodes, Heather's parents owned a video store.
Yes. So eventually there'll be lots of movies on here because we watched a lot of movies.
We did watch a lot of movies. And it's just funny now that it's so obsolete. Everything is so obsolete and it's just digitally downloaded,
hmm
which is cool because there's less clutter, Heather.
But we got to see like the whole progression. So there was like the Betamax cassette, and then there was the VHS, and then there was the laser disc, and then there was the DVD, and then there was like Redbox, and then Netflix, and so
Streaming, all the streaming.
a
I
lot of
still
cool stuff.
remember, yeah, I still remember when Netflix was in its infancy and nobody liked it.
Yeah.
Nobody was watching anything. I mean, I was, but and it was just older movies. But anyway,
Anyway, let's talk
take
about
us
VH1.
take us back to a cable TV music channel.
All right, so VH1 stands for Video Hits One, and it was launched on January 1st, 1985.
Ah,
VH1, as many of you will already know, is the sister station to MTV. It was designed to play videos that were targeted towards a more mature audience. So it was more of your like Bill Collins, Lionel Richie, um, you know, I don't
Who are
know.
still around.
People, well, yeah, people who now I like, then not so much. But yeah, so it was appeal to an older crowd.
Like 70s rock bands, maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
like older rock bands and stuff like that. The ironic thing is like how did they have videos for
Well, they
these songs? But
they
a lot of
probably
it's concert footage.
yeah, concert footage, and they probably recorded some of it.
Yeah.
And they just weren't the elaborate movie productions of the MTV videos.
No, and if honestly, if you go back and watch early MTV videos, they're like terrible.
Silly.
Yeah, like the original MTV videos. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my
But it
God.
was at the time, it was so cool.
Oh
And
yeah.
especially since, like, for VH1, I mean, I didn't watch VH1 that much. And it was the cool part of it is when you listen to the radio, you had to like wait for a song to come on. But if
Yeah.
you were listening to VH1, you could hear all the top hits
Hmm.
through your TV and still be doing something because you weren't watching it because it
Hmm.
wasn't really fascinating like MTV videos were for us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like having the radio on your TV, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. So like MTV, VH1 originally only played music videos, but eventually, also like MTV, they introduced the reality show, which took over.
Yeah.
The kind of cool thing with VH1, the focus on all of their reality shows was more on like celebrities, the musicians, backstories. And then later, shows that targeted African American audiences. And I didn't realize this, but now VH1 is actually owned by BET.
Oh,
So they started doing things like Basketball Wives and all of that kind of stuff in the like early 2000s. So a couple of their most notable reality shows, Behind the Music, which I absolutely loved Behind the Music
yeah,
because it
that was
was
cool.
the artists' backstories, like how they got to where they are, information about their childhood, what made them want to go into music, what their muse was for their songs or their writing or whatever. So that was a great show. Um, I love the 80s, which I can personally tell you is on YouTube right now. And I am on 1986 and I am loving every minute of it because I'm like, oh, wait, there's a topic. Oh, wait, there's a topic.
Oh man, oh, 80s music, terrible. What?
So, yeah, but I love the 80s was about like the TV shows, the
Oh, okay.
movies, the music, the things that were going on in history. I won't put any spoilers out there, but I have a couple. I just thought of another topic that I need to add.
Well, I mean,
That is
they're
not,
not spoilers because that stuff's been on for a long time.
yeah, no, I know, but eventually we'll cover them.
Yeah, behind
Um,
the music though, it was cool because you couldn't look that stuff up in the library.
well,
And
you couldn't look it up on the internet either because there was no internet.
yeah, I know, but well, there was, but
Well, there was, but we didn't have
it
access
wasn't
to,
available. There was no
yeah.
like, but
Mm-mm.
you couldn't look any of that stuff up in the library, so it was just either in a magazine
Yeah,
or on this show.
yeah. And I love the 80s. It's just a bunch of different types of celebrities that are going through and talking about like all the different pop culture things. Like I said, TV shows, toys, movies, celebrity stuff, scandals, that kind of stuff. And then another little show called Pop-Up Video. Do you remember Pop-Up Video?
If I saw it, I probably would remember.
So it aired originally, this is actually a product of the 90s, but it was a cool show because they would do like classic rock videos, campy music videos and things like that. And while the video was playing, they would have these little bubbles, these little quote bursts that would pop up in the middle of the video, and they would have all these like weird, interesting facts. Like they'd have artist info, they'd have info on the origins of the song, how the videos were made, like weird scientific facts that would go along with things that were happening in the video.
I
Like,
kind of remember that a
so
little
do you
bit.
remember Lisa Loeb and that song Stay?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a cat at the beginning of that music video.
Yeah.
Pop-up video taught me yesterday that that cat actually belonged to Ethan Hawke.
Oh, really? It wasn't Professor
Yeah.
McGonagall?
No, it was not Professor McGonagall. As cool as that would have been, was not. So I thought that that was kind of a cool
It is cool.
show too, just because it was just weird stuff that you wouldn't normally think about. Sorry, I just hit my mic. Hopefully that didn't
Okay.
get picked up.
No, you're fine. But it keeps you engaged. So good for
Yeah,
VH1 because it kept people engaged and watching it instead of just listening to the music.
yeah. And each episode they would play like 4 or 5 videos and you'd get all the different like information about it. Like I was trying to think of who it was. I think it was Sugar Ray's Fly video where he starts walking on the wall
Mm.
and they start talking about how flies can walk on walls because of the sticky stuff that's on their little feet, little fly feet. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So just like weird
Yeah.
scientific facts too. So that
Well,
was pretty cool. So
I love
I have
you.
a little trivia for you.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah. Ready?
I was not pre-warned. Okay, let's hear it. You know my memory sucks.
Okay. Can you guess 5 of the top 10 videos played on VH1 in the 80s?
Oh, good Lord. Do I have to name the artist and the song?
No, no. You just have to get 5 of them
Okay.
out of the top 10 in the
Top
80s. And
10
this is actually, I'm hoping this is official. We'll post the references on, or sorry, not the references, the,
sources.
thank you, sources on the bottom of the show notes.
Mhm.
But I took this from an article that I found online.
Yeah.
This was not Wikipedia.
I know. I was gonna preface at the beginning that the stuff that we look up may or may not be true, and I'll tell you later about something about that, but it's we're not experts in the field. We're just sharing our experiences and the
Yeah.
things that we reference. So
Yes.
you can come at us if
But
you
I
want,
think that
but
honestly, after looking at this list, I honestly think it is pretty darn
are they
accurate.
80s artists?
Yeah, yeah, these are the top 10 videos played on VH1 in the 1980s.
Okay, top 10. So I'm
So you're
gonna
gonna name 5, try to guess 5 of the top
5
10.
of the artists. Okay,
The songs.
oh, I'm
5 of the songs.
Born in the USA.
Eh.
Um, I don't know like titles of songs, but I would say, well, you already said Phil Collins, so I would guess one of his songs would be
Eh.
Cyndi Lauper,
Nope. Getting closer though.
Madonna.
Yes, what song?
Oh, Jesus. Vogue.
That came out in the 90s.
Oh, it did. Hold on. Material Girl.
Nope. Close though.
Close to Material Girl. La Isla Bonita.
I don't think that song even got on the top 10 in the charts.
And I probably didn't even pronounce it right. Um,
Big song. Big voices in the song. Big backup
Hold
voices.
on. Yeah, I know. I'm singing it in my head. I'm trying to get to the chorus. Like a Virgin.
No, so close though. You're off by
Maybe
one word.
like a Virgin, wasn't it?
No, you're off by one word.
I don't know. Tell me.
Like a prayer.
Oh yeah.
She has the choir in it. So
Yeah.
that one was
I was
number
singing it
3.
in my head, Heather. You just couldn't hear it.
Yeah. We will not be singing it out loud. I mean, you can, I will
It's
not.
like a prayer.
There you go. So it came out in 1989.
Okay.
Okay, so you got one more shot here. That was number 3.
One more shot. Oh shoot.
See if you can figure out the number 1
Oh shoot.
most played video on
One-
VH1 in
Number.
the 80s,
Was it early 80s or later 80s?
early 80s.
Let's see.
If you do not get this, I might
Heather, I already, I don't.
even just get the artist. All you got to get is the artist.
Aerosmith.
No, 80s. I mean, yes, Aerosmith was big in the
Guns
80s,
N'
but
Roses.
no.
Is it a girl or a boy?
Boy.
Boy George.
No.
No.
Give up. One more guess.
Okay, one more guess. If it's a boy,
Hmm.
Duran Duran.
Not number one.
All right. What the hell is
Okay.
that?
So two of the bands that you said were on the list, just
Oh,
not in the number one position.
whatevs. I get half
I
point.
can't believe you did not get
Oh
this.
Lord, let's hear it.
I think that you would have gotten the artist, not the correct song, because I wouldn't have been the one that I would have picked.
Yeah.
All right, number 10, Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran.
See,
Came
this
out.
is, let me stop you right here, Heather.
Yeah.
This is the shit that I hate listening to.
Okay, well, it came out in 1982, and I loved me
Oh,
some Duran Duran.
barf.
I was a huge Duran Duran fan.
No, thank you.
Number
Move on.
9, which I didn't even realize this song. I mean, it makes sense. So, yes, I guess I did realize this song came out in the 80s, but holy crap, it made me feel really freaking old.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses came out in 1987.
Yes.
Number 8, Thriller by Michael Jackson came out in
Oh,
1983.
shoot. So is it Billie Jean?
Yep. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner.
See, all I
Uh,
needed was a little memory jog from my old kid.
I would have said, I honestly probably would have gotten the Michael Jackson, but I would have said Beat It, not Billie Jean.
Yeah, that
I
was
would
it.
have
Well,
said Beat It
he
for
had
sure.
so many hits.
He's his own episode for sure. He's on the list.
No, he's not on the list.
He needs to be added because
No, I don't like that guy.
why? He was a freaking musical legend.
He's a creepy musical
Genius.
legend. Creepy.
Well, he might have been creepy, but number 7 was Every Breath You Take by the Police. Came out in
Oh,
1983.
terrible song.
Number, how are we friends?
I know. If you
Number
give me any 90s music, then we're talking.
number 6, Photograph by Def Leppard in 1983.
There you
Number 5, Take on Me, Aha, 1985.
go.
That might be my favorite music video of all time because that was the one where it was all like black and
Cameras
white
and stuff.
animated. It was like
Yeah,
super cool.
that was cute.
Number 4, Jump by Van Halen from
Let's
1984.
run, jump.
Number 3, you guessed, Like a Prayer by Madonna, 1989. Number 2, and I always forget about this, and I don't know why, because I actually really thought this was a cool song, and the video was so freaking progressive for its time. Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel.
Oh, yeah, with the ladies.
Yeah, it came out in, no, you're thinking of Robert Palmer.
Oh,
Peter Gabriel's the one, it's a lot of it's animated too. It's funky. Go back and watch it. It's cool.
yeah.
Once you see it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah. I was at a Dave Matthews concert and they did the tribute to that song.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
such a cool song, but I feel like it's always overlooked and I always forget about it. But I was like, that was an awesome song. That came out in 1986.
Okay.
And then number 1, as you guessed, Billie
Number
Jean by Michael
one,
Jackson from
Billie Jean,
1983.
not my
And we
love.
still don't know who the father of the child is.
I don't know what that means.
We know it's not Michael. But we don't know whose it is. Still waiting on those results.
Never know.
And now we'll never know.
Unless it's in some vault somewhere. That
I don't know.
what was her name? The daughter?
Janet?
No, what? Sister. That's a sister.
Whose daughter? Oh, Paris?
Paris.
Was
Unless
it
she,
Paris?
yeah, Paris, unless she archives something.
Maybe. I
Whatever.
don't know. I don't
That's a
know.
good list. That's a good list of
Ah,
songs.
sorry, my light just crapped out. We're gonna have to be quick.
That's a good list of songs for the top
It
10.
is,
I
for
remember
sure.
all of those songs. Did I like them all? Nay, but they were hits.
You didn't like any 80s music, I feel like.
I feel like I did not. I mean, there's some, like I like some Madonna songs, Cyndi Lauper songs. I like that Take on Me song. That was cute.
Mhm.
But a lot of them, no. I don't know why.
I, on the other hand, really loved 80s music.
Yeah, I was more 90s music. Heather.
I loved 90s
I was
music too.
looking into the future.
I think I was more music and you were more like techie stuff.
Maybe. Maybe.
I
Yeah,
was always listening to music and you were always like
I was
looking
in the
stuff up.
computer lab at school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different
Or
people.
like exercising, which I don't do now, but I did back then and I got it out of my system.
There you go. Cross country runner right here.
That's
Runner
right.
of the year.
Not so much, but maybe top 10.
Hey, you guys were state champs once
Indeed.
in the
Indeed
90s.
we were. Indeed we
Congratulations on that accomplishment. It hasn't happened since.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
We're in the
No.
archives. I have the pictures and the medals to prove it.
There's like a banner hanging in the gym
Hmm, nice.
to
There we go.
celebrate y'all.
Awesome.
Anyway, so
Anyway,
that is a
VH1.
look at VH1.
Oh, that was a nice look at VH1, Heather. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I worked hard on that. Watching a lot of I Love the 80s right now.
I know. Well, that's fun. I heard, on a funny note, speaking of looking back, I was listening to a podcast and they had Jack Black on,
Uh-huh.
the actor, and he was saying that he was doing binges of music albums. So like
Ooh,
he would pick an artist
yeah,
and start with their early stuff and work his way through and fascinated because you don't hear every song on the album. You pick your
right.
faves, but has been, listening to each artist, say, for example, Led Zeppelin or something. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a long listen, but because you
So
don't hear some of them, so you get to know new music.
I like a nice greatest hits. I'm an Apple products person, and so Apple Music got great greatest hits compilations for me.
Yeah,
And I go back through like I've been on this like Fleetwood Mac. I'm
terrible
in my
band.
I'm in my witchy era right now, and
Right.
so I've been like at work for hours upon hours upon hours. It's just constant Fleetwood Mac right
There
now.
you go. You did tell me that the other day.
But
That's
maybe
awesome.
I was thinking about maybe doing like U2 next.
There you go. That's a great one.
So,
Rattle and hum.
mm,
Mhm.
Joshua Tree.
Oh yeah, all of them were really good. But yeah, I would like to try that where you take one band
Yeah,
and just listen the whole entire series of their albums just to kind of, I don't know, just to know
yeah,
what other music is out there and maybe something might spark something and it might be something new that you add to your
yeah.
playlist. So you can
Send
find
me
anything.
send me that podcast too, because Jack Black is fascinating to me.
Oh,
I like.
it's on Armchair Anonymous, or no,
Oh, is it?
Armchair
I'm care
Expert.
expert.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to go
So
back.
that was good. I think too, they even said it on the on that episode that he doesn't really do that many interviews.
Really?
Yeah. So, and he's just one of those Hollywood types that is just genuinely nice, I feel.
Yeah,
I feel
he
he's
seems
just
like it.
genuinely nice to people. And everywhere he's around, he just tries to make people laugh and he's just happy,
That's awesome.
a happy dude. Anyway, well, thanks everybody for listening and watching on YouTube. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Goodbye. Have a good week.